running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hey babes, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new around here. If you are new, my name is Rachel. This is my channel. We have motherhood, lifestyle, family vlogs, all sorts of great content here. And especially right now, we are all full of pregnancy videos. Everything has been about the twins and the pregnancy lately on my channel. So if you are interested in any kind of content like that, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button, join my YouTube family. I hope that you like this video and I hope that you'll want to become a part of my family here on YouTube. Okay guys, so this week's video is all about my weeks 19 and 20 of my pregnancy. So I'm actually currently 21 weeks pregnant and I'll just be going over the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy with you guys, letting you know what all my updates are, what all my symptoms have been, and at the end of this video I'm actually going to be doing a haul of some maternity clothes that I picked up recently. So for those of you who are new around here and don't know, I have a 2-year-old daughter and she's going to be actually 2.5 when the twins come. So you can figure out by the half point in her age her pregnancy, the majority of the larger part of her pregnancy was in the winter. Her birthday's in March. So I had purchased maternity clothes during her pregnancy, but any of the stuff I wore that was more summery, well, I have a couple of like shirts that I can get away with, but most of the stuff that I bought that was more summery was smaller because it was the earlier point in her pregnancy when I would have been wearing that. Like I had a couple pairs of shorts, but I've already outgrown them. And the majority of the clothes from her pregnancy was winter stuff. So I won't be wearing much of that, seeing as they will be probably born in September or early October. And so I'll be still in warm weather here in Chicago at that point for the most part. So I needed to go out and purchase a couple of items. So I actually ended up shopping from Target. They had some really amazing deals and I can't wait to share those with you later in the video. So if you love hauls and stuff like that, make sure you stick around to the very end. All right guys, before I get more into that, let's talk about weeks 19 and 20, what my symptoms were, how the babies are doing, and a very exciting thing that happened during week 20 was my anatomy scan. So we will get to all of that coming up shortly. So during week 19, I had a couple of weird symptoms, and luckily they only really lasted for the most part that week and a little bit into week 20. But one of the weirdest ones was my eyes were getting super sensitive, and to the point where I would wake up in the middle of the night, my eyes would be glued shut and I would try to open them and I couldn't open them at first, and it would be really painful when I would open them, like they would be sore. And so that was a very weird symptom that lasted during the week of 19 and a little bit into 20. Another one that only lasted during that same period-ish was my gums, and I have a tooth over here that got very sensitive anytime I would drink anything cold. It was weird though. I could have like a popsicle and it wouldn't bother me, but if I drank ice water, I would get shooting pains in my gum. And so that lasted a few days and then it went away. Luckily, I have been able to brush my teeth without vomiting, woohoo, for the last couple of weeks. So in my last update, I had told you guys that I was still having that problem where I was getting sick from brushing my teeth, but it seems to have subsided. I still get a little bit, like sometimes I still gag a little bit, but for the most part, I am able to brush my teeth. And so that I think helped a little bit. I was able to do a more thorough job brushing my teeth and not getting sick ever after. Definitely helped, I think, clear up the sore gums and the tooth issue that whatever I was having. So those were kind of some of my more negative symptoms during weeks 19 and 20. Now during week 20, I did have an interesting reaction. So not quite a symptom, but it was a reaction. So generally, I don't have very many negative reactions to sun exposure. I'll get sort of pink or a slight sunburn occasionally, but it usually turns into tan within a few hours or the next day. And I don't usually end up with like any sort of skin damage, like peeling and stuff like that when I'm outside. So this was a very weird symptom or reaction that I ended up having. I actually ended up doing a telemedicine visit with my doctor to discuss it, just to make sure that everything was okay. But I went outside in the pool. We set up like it's like 13 feet. It's like a big kiddie pool, but bigger than your typical ones. Like I can float in a little floaty in it. So I had set that up. We were playing with Chloe in it, and one of the days I put her down for a nap, and I went out to get some sun and float in the water. And that day I started getting like on my breast a very red, rashy, almost like hives sort of thing. And it was only where my bathing suit showed, but my t-shirt or tank top usually didn't show. So like somewhere in between this area. And it was really, really weird. But at first I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm just reacting to being in the sun a little bit, but it'll probably go away. And then it didn't end up going away. It ended up getting really itchy and irritated, and then it continued to happen for a couple of days. So I ended up setting up a meeting just to talk to one of the nurse practitioners at my doctor's office and find out if there was anything I could put on it, because I didn't want to put anything on it like itch cream unless the doctor said it was okay, being that, you know, some of that stuff can get like hydrocortisone, which is ended up being what she told me to use, is a steroid cream. So I didn't want to use something like that might affect the baby unless she told me it's okay to use something like that. So I called them. That's what they told me to use, just a over-the-counter amount, not like I have a prescription of it from some other, you know, thing in the past. But that prescription was like 2.5% and over the counter is 1%. So I ended up having my husband go to Walgreens, pick up a hydrocortisone over the counter, and then I put that on for 2 days and everything pretty much cleared up. I still have a little bit of the red coloring, but there's no bumps, no itching, no heat, because it was kind of radiating heat for a while too. So none of those symptoms are happening anymore. And so I just discontinued use of the cream as soon as the symptoms started to clear up. And at this point, we're not experiencing that anymore. So if you are pregnant and you go out in the sun, just make sure that you are like using a big sun hat or you know, putting your sunscreen on, stuff like that. I did have sunscreen on, but I used my daughter's you know, like zinc type of sunscreen, and maybe I had a reaction to it, I'm not sure. But one way or the other, the doctor just said it could have been a reaction to the sunscreen, it could have been a reaction to just the heat and the sun, and either way, to just be careful moving forward to make sure that I'm, you know, not getting too overexposed in the sun, because your body does react differently during pregnancy with sun exposure, and your hormones are so different, especially in a twin pregnancy like mine. My hormones are so, you know, elevated that you know, the reactions to things just tends to be a little bit harsher than your typical reaction might be. So other than that, we pretty much had a really good last couple of weeks. 19 and 20 were pretty good. Like I said, I'm no longer getting sick. My food cravings have kind of switched over. In the beginning of my pregnancy, my food cravings were really focused on like savory and melty cheese and lots of hot sauce and stuff like that. Now that I'm further along into the pregnancy, I'm thirsty all the time, which I drink tons and tons of water. This thing gets refilled like several times a day. So I drink so much water, and I also occasionally drink like a juice or something like that. But I've been craving food like fresh fruit that's very thirst quenching, berries, stuff like that. And then also those red, white, and blue like rocket popsicles. I have been all about those for the past couple of weeks, and I probably have at least, maybe not every single day I don't have one, but I definitely have them several times a week. And so popsicles have been something that I've been craving a lot, which is funny because, I mean, I can't even remember ever buying popsicles since I was living at my parents' house probably. So sometimes these weird cravings that come up for a little while are just so interesting to me, but that's been something that I've been really into lately. And like I said, all the fresh fruit and tons and tons and tons and tons of water. Those are the things that I've been craving lately. So it's sort of interesting how my cravings have evolved over the past couple of weeks. I know that I mentioned in my previous update that I haven't been super hungry. I'm not like starving, I'm not snacking a million times a day, and that's still pretty much the case. As long as I'm eating like a decent amount at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like I'm not craving food outside of that. And occasionally I'll have a snack, or like I said, I'll have a popsicle or something like that, but it's usually light, it's not anything heavy. And there are some days that if things are crazy and I don't get to eat lunch until maybe like 3 o'clock or something like that, then I'm not even hungry for dinner that night. And so I'll just eat like some nuts or like trail mix or a granola bar or something like that at the end of the night. And usually that's plenty for me. And when I saw my doctor for 20 weeks, I asked her, you know, should I be focused on trying to consume more food? Like, I'm not hungry. I have at this point gained a little over 10 pounds during this pregnancy. And some people are saying, you know, in twin groups that they've gained so much more, or that their doctors recommend them to gain so much more. And I just wanted to know what my doctor's opinion was, and she's not concerned at all. She said that because I did lose a little bit of weight during my first trimester, and then because I ended up gaining, I believe it was like 5 pounds in between my 16-week and my 20-week visit, that she wasn't concerned at all. She said that that's a good amount to be gaining, and the babies are gaining weight. So that's what's really important. She said, we're focused on the babies and how much they're gaining. And if you're eating enough that they're getting the nutrients that they need and that they're building their body mass up, that it's not important for me to be focused so much on the numbers on the scale of like what I'm eating. And so that actually made me feel so much better, because I feel like my body does know what's enough, and when I don't have enough, I feel like my body does cue me to want to eat more, and it'll cue me into eating the things that maybe the babies need more of. So maybe that's why I'm craving more fresh fruit and stuff like that now, or craving more water right now, because maybe those are the things that they need more of. I also asked her about my prenatal, because I've been taking ritual prenatals, 2 of them every day at the same time, and I take a baby aspirin every day. And like you guys know, I'm obsessed with the ritual vitamins because they're the only ones that don't make me sick, and that's like my number one thing with those, is that they do not make me sick. But I had asked her, should I be increasing the amount of them that I'm taking? So some people take double prenatals, or take, you know, if they're supposed to take 2 a day, they take 3 a day when they're having twins, just to make sure that the babies are getting enough of the folic acid or folate, which mine has folate in it, which is the more natural compound, and iron, which are the 2 main things that like the babies really need during this time of their growth. And basically she said no, she doesn't think I need to be increasing my vitamins at all. She thinks that there's plenty in the vitamins that I'm taking right now, and that if they were to do any tests and think, okay, well maybe we need to up the folate or up the amount of iron that I'm getting, that I would just supplement those separately instead of taking the entire prenatal more of it, because they're getting plenty of all of the other things that are in that prenatal vitamin. So clearly not a doctor, but that's what my doctor told me. So if you're having questions about how much you should be taking, make sure that you talk to your doctor and find out their opinion, because you might get a different answer than I did, especially if you're taking different vitamins than I am, or if you have a different type of diet. I eat a lot of leafy greens. I have spinach very frequently. I eat you know, things that are high in antioxidants. So I have plenty in my natural diet that usually helps out with a lot of this stuff that the prenatals are supplementing for. So if you have a diet that maybe isn't already giving you all of those vitamins, then that's something to also talk to your doctor about. But my doctor seemed to be totally okay with it. So that's where we're at as far as me and the things that have been happening and going on with me at this point. Oh, I'm getting out of breath. It is hard to be pregnant with 2 babies, pushing up into your lungs and talking as much as I am. Okay, so right here, I'm going to insert a little bit of footage from our 20-week ultrasound scan of the twins. I was very lucky that the ultrasound technician let me take a little bit of video because normally they don't allow you to, but because my husband wasn't able to be there during the entire anatomy scan, they let me at the very end film a little bit just so that he would have something and then that we would have something together to remember the experience by. So here is some of that footage, and I hope that you guys like seeing the little babies kick around in there. It was really cool for me because this anatomy scan was 3 hours long. So I was in there looking at the babies for about 3 hours. Now the technician had to go in and out of the room several times to enter information and stuff like that. But overall, I was there for 3 hours and it was pretty fun getting to see the babies so much and getting to, you know, see how they're growing. They're getting so big. And at 20 weeks, Mackenzie, baby B, Mackenzie, she's the one that's kind of more up here in this direction, she was weighing at 12 ounces. And then Miles, baby A, who's more down here, he was weighing in at 11 ounces. So he's a little bit smaller than Mackenzie, but they weren't too concerned about that. So basically, we want to keep an eye on it, make sure that the difference in their weight isn't higher than 25%, because then that indicates that one is receiving more of my nutrients and able to grow faster and bigger, and that the other one is falling behind. And so that's something that they look out for with twin pregnancies, but they're not worried about that right now because I think she said it's like 11% difference, and right now it's only an ounce. So he could easily catch back up or take over and be even, you know, bigger than she is within the next couple of weeks. So that's not anything that we're concerned about at all. We did find out that Miles's placenta is anterior, which means his placenta is in the front of my uterus, and Mackenzie's placenta is posterior, which means it's in the back of my uterus. So if this is the back of my uterus with her placenta, and then this is his placenta on the front, basically the doctor said that they are wall to wall, and so I'm pretty much covered in placenta there. And she said that's totally normal with twins because there is less room for the placentas to attach, so it's very likely that one is going to be anterior in the front, which is the less common placement if you're having a single pregnancy. And a lot of times with anterior placentas, it gets in the way of being able to feel certain kicks and stuff, so sometimes it can take longer to feel kicks. But so far I've been feeling a decent amount of kicks, and so that hasn't been an issue with this pregnancy, even though his placenta is in the front. I still, lower where his placenta is not covering is a place where I feel a lot of movement from him, and up higher, up here, is where I feel a lot of movement from Mackenzie. So that was cool to find that out about them. We got a lot of really cute pictures of them. I got to see everything in complete detail because this was a level 2 ultrasound. So, I mean, we got close-ups of their fingers, their toes, their mouths, everything, you know. It was really cool. And I just felt so lucky to be able to see them for so long. So I had that appointment. And then 2 days later went in to see my actual doctor because that appointment had to be done at a hospital where they're able to do that high level of the ultrasound. So after that ultrasound, a couple days later, I went to my doctor, and we went over everything, discussed everything. She's like, everything's looking good. However, there's a couple of scans of baby B, so Mackenzie, that ended up getting missed. So a couple of pictures that are more important ones that they actually do need got missed, and that just happens, especially with twins. They're trying to get so many pictures, and it's 3 hours long of taking all these pictures. And so they either got one that wasn't a good enough shot, or they didn't get one because they assumed that they had already gotten it if they got one with Miles or something like that. So while it's not ideal to have to go back to a hospital right now during all of this, you know, we're still worried about COVID and we're still trying to take precautions and be safe, but I am lucky enough to get to see them again at 22 weeks. So at 22 weeks, I will be going back into the hospital to get those last couple of scans done. And hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more footage for you guys then for my next video. But I will be heading back in and I will get to see them again and get a couple more photos and get those last images of Mackenzie that are needed for the anatomy scan. But all in all, they are growing really well. They are so far looking like everything looks good. Nothing to be concerned about, and so we are just really feeling happy and blessed at this point that everything is going so well. Okay, so I'm going to insert a little bit of footage from, you guys know it, my favorite app to look at, the Pregnancy Plus app, so that you guys can see exactly what those babies are looking like while they're rolling around right inside of here, and how big they are looking as far as in relation to my phone screen, because they are getting so big. It's so crazy to me. Okay, so a couple of updates from the apps on the babies. Your babies sleep now and they can be awakened by noise and movement. So as I mentioned in my last video update, my husband has been talking to the babies a lot. I've been talking to the babies a lot, playing music for them, singing to them in the car, and basically anything so that they get used to our voices. But hopefully we're not scaring them and waking them up when they're trying to take a little snooze. This part I love. It says that the twins are constantly stimulating each other and waking each other up with their movements. And I think that that's kind of cool. They're in their own sacs. They have their own placentas, but they're still sharing a womb, and so they're still able to interact with each other, and I think that they probably are comforting to each other as well, which is just something that's really sweet for me to think about. This is so adorable. At this age, babies are loving putting their feet and toes in their mouth and playing with them. I think that that is so sweet, because one of the cutest things after babies are born is when they discover their feet and they start grabbing their feet, or they try and chew on their feet, and I think it's just so sweet and adorable. So I think that's really cute that they already are experiencing some of that while they're in the womb. So this app actually is referring to the size of the babies as being the same size as papayas during week 10, which is kind of cool. I wish I had a papaya to show you guys, but I'll pop one on the screen here. The other thing that almost all the rest of the apps compare the babies to at this point is the length of a banana. And while normally I have tons of bananas in my home, I currently don't have any bananas because my daughter ate them all. Mom life. But my daughter loves bananas and eats them every single day, and so we are currently out of bananas. But you all know what a banana looks like, but just in case, here's a picture of a banana. So if you want to compare the baby's size right now to papayas or bananas, you can. And just remember that we know that 20 weeks, Miles was exactly 11 ounces and that Mackenzie was exactly 12 ounces. So that's something that's really cool. It means that I am carrying, you know, 1.5 pounds of baby. So that's pretty awesome, and they're continuing to grow every single day, so I can't wait to see how much they're weighing at their 22-week checkup. Alright guys, so here's the haul portion of the video. If you're not interested in the maternity clothes, feel free to skip ahead a couple of minutes to see the bump shot at the very end, but I am going to show you guys some of my favorite maternity finds that I got at Target, and if I can link the items, I will link them below for you guys. So the first maternity item that I purchased, I'm actually wearing right now. I will show a picture of the model from the Target website wearing it just over here so that you guys can actually see what the full length of it is. But it is a maxi dress. It has 2 slits up the side that go about knee level. It's a sort of dusty rose pink color, and it has this palm design all over it, which I love. It's super summery, but not like pow in your face really bright or anything like that. And it's so comfortable and so soft. I was just telling Ryan, like, I need 100 of these because they're so comfortable. I could wear them every single day. The next item I picked up, I'm gonna just insert a picture of me wearing it. It's just a simple black bodycon maternity dress. And I picked this dress up for me to wear for work. I am going back to work. I actually started working yesterday. And while it is crazy to be a makeup artist during these COVID times, I do have to go back to work and be able to help out some of the women who decided to hold out, and they are having their weddings this summer. So I have outgrown most of my normal clothes that I wear to work. As a makeup artist and hairstylist, we generally wear all black, so I got this dress for that reason. And also it's just great to have a little black dress, right? It always reminds me of watching Spice World when I was younger, and Posh Spice is like got the little Gucci dress, and the little Gucci dress, I think, is how it goes. And she just has multiples of the same sort of little black dress. I always think of that whenever I'm talking about little black dresses. So, okay, so the next thing I picked up, like I told you guys, my maternity shorts from my last pregnancy are starting to get a little tight on me. I can still wear them, but I was smaller when I got pregnant with Chloe than I was getting pregnant this time, and I was only pregnant with one. And the beginning of my pregnancy was the time when I would have really worn shorts. And this time along, I'm gonna be very big at the end of this summer with 2 babies. And so I wanted to go up a size as well and just get ones that were gonna last a little longer. So I got these. These are just a pair of white maternity shorts. Instead of having the big over the belly band, which I tend to like because they hold up better, but they can get really, really hot in the summer. And so I picked up the kind that have this stretchy band on the side, and so far they've been totally fine. So like I said, there's a pair of white shorts, and then these white ones have like kind of a cuffed bottom, and they're a little bit shorter. And the other pair that I got is these like, you know, fringy cutoff jeans. They also have the stretchy part right there, and these ones are a little bit longer. So if you're concerned at all for like chub rub, which is always my concern in the summer when I'm walking in the heat, these ones are really great because they go down kind of a little bit further down your leg a little bit. I also picked up a shirt. So this is the maternity top that I picked up. It has kind of this strap goes over the shoulder, and these go on top, so you have that kind of romantic look to it. And then the belly is quite large and has lots of room for growth for the summer. And in the back, what I like is it's stretchy in the back. And something that you don't always necessarily realize with pregnancy is that you're growing in areas you're not like paying attention to. So your belly is so obvious that you might not notice that your back is growing a little bit, your arms are growing a little bit, your breasts are definitely growing if you're anything like me. And so having something that can kind of stretch a little bit with you as you grow is really, really great. As far as Target maternity tops go, this is a small and it is a little bit big on me. I generally I'm a lot smaller on top than I am on bottom, and so I usually am a small in Target clothes and sometimes an extra small in Target clothes, but the maternity clothes do seem to be running a little bit bigger, at least in the tops and the dresses, because in the dresses I'm also wearing a small. So I think that they may be running a little bit bigger, or at least like big enough for growth during my bigger part of my pregnancy. So that was something to keep in mind. If you are ordering online, if you want to order for the length of your pregnancy, I think you can probably stick with your pre-pregnancy size, small, medium, large, whatever you were wearing ahead of time. But if you're thinking, I want to order right now, and you're still in the early part of your pregnancy and you want something that's going to be a really slim fit, you might want to even try ordering down a size. So that's just a suggestion. I know a lot of people are online shopping right now, trying to avoid stores, and I know a lot of stores that are open aren't even allowing you to try stuff on. So that's just a note. Hopefully that could be helpful for you. The last item that I picked up at Target was this. It's a tank dress. It says Mama across it. It's navy blue and has the stretchy ruching on the side, and it's just a bodycon about knee length, maybe a little bit lower, maybe high calf length. And this dress is super soft, super comfortable as well. And I lucked out because all of the dresses were on sale for $10. So Target may still be having this deal, I'm not sure, but when I picked everything up, their dresses were all on sale for $10. Maternity, regular dresses, everything was on sale for $10. So I got, what was that, 3 dresses for $30. And then the shorts were regular price, but Target's really, really competitively priced for their maternity. So it was like $22 for one, and I think $25 for the other. And, you know, I have shopped at Motherhood Maternity, Destination Maternity, Pea in the Pod, all of those. And I just ordered not that long ago a pair of jeans from Madewell. And so when you're ordering jeans from those types of places, you're spending $100 or more dollars, maybe $75. So the fact that Target's jeans are under $30 each, I think is a really, really great deal. But I also know that other places have affordable maternity clothes as well, like Old Navy, H&M, Walmart. So those are all great options too if you're looking for affordable maternity clothes. But I'm pretty happy with this haul that I got. And I do have some hand-me-downs from some other people, and so I should be able to get through a good chunk of my pregnancy without needing to buy anything else. I'm not saying that I'm not going to buy anything else because, you know, everybody likes to shop, but I think at this point I am pretty good for the summer, at least until I get really, really big. I may need to buy something else if I outgrow everything in the belly. And then I had one other item I wanted to show you guys. I didn't actually directly choose to purchase this. This came in one of my bump boxes, the subscription boxes that I get every month. And I wanted to just show you guys these because it comes, first of all, they came in like a little laundry bag, which I love because small stuff like this, tossing in a laundry bag to get them clean is so much easier, and then you don't end up losing them. But these are nursing pads. So I wanted to talk to you guys about these just because, first of all, I'm really impressed with these ones. The brand is called Eco Nursing Pads, and I think that these are like bamboo fiber. So they have they have 2 different styles here. These are just like a large flat round style, and then these ones have a seam sewn into them, so they're a little bit cone shaped so that they fit on. And when I was nursing Chloe, I tried to use like the Lancino or the Up and Up like disposables, because at first I was like, oh, do I really want to use like basically cotton pads that are gonna just like soak up like and maybe like soak through? So I wasn't convinced on using the reusable ones at first, but I was so disappointed in all of the disposables. They were itchy, they were uncomfortable, they were like scratchy. I didn't feel like that they soaked up that much. I felt like I had to change them so much more frequently. And so I ended up using just some reusable cotton, plain old, like they're just kind of whitish cream color, and those were great. They were comfortable. I just stuffed them in my bra and didn't have to think about them. And I only really needed to use them for the first, like, I'd say like 2 months. And then I really stopped leaking after that. I know a lot of women leak the entire time that they are breastfeeding, but I was really impressed with these ones. They came in, the bamboo fiber is super, super soft. And then this is like, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not, I don't know what kind of material it is, but I think that it's more of like a protective layer to be on the outside so that it doesn't leak through. And so I'm really excited to try these when I do try nursing the twins. We still will see how everything works out with nursing 2 babies at once, but that is my goal. And so I'm really happy to have a couple of these, and I just wanted to share them with you because they were one of the items that I was actually excited about in my latest subscription box that I had gotten in. Okay guys, so that's basically all of the things that I've purchased during weeks 19 and 20. It's all of my information about myself during week 19 and 20, all of my symptoms, cravings, etc., and how the babies are doing. You guys got to see them in their ultrasound, and I love sharing that stuff with you guys. So don't forget to leave me some comments down below before you head out for the day. And now I'm gonna show you guys my 20-week baby bump. Thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling.